he's such a talented guy. He basically got 3 gimmicks over. He got, the original Bray, which was just fantastic when he first came up. And then I consider it 2 characters that he got over here recently with both the Fiend, which had no right to work, but it did. And then also one of my favorite characters ever in wrestling, which is the Firefly Bray, which is like a kind of a spin on Mr. Rogers. He's one of the best promos. If we're being brutally honest, I wouldn't say he's great in the ring, but he's good. He sometimes could look a little winded, but either way, it's just sad that somebody this talented is just being let go, especially when you think about the fact that I don't know if you can find anyone that was closer to Brody than Bray in wrestling. He's had some posts on social media that, just make me more than anything, hope he's okay. And I do think we're going to find out eventually there's more to this. I can't believe that WWE would just let him walk without there just being something else. And I don't know what that is. I'm obviously that's speculation, but it's just hard to believe that this is just flat out a cost saving measure. Sam, how shocked were you when you heard the news?
Not as shocked as I would have been because he's been gone for a while. I was disappointed because of the fact, everything that you mentioned. He's very creative. I think that he's somebody who, when he can hold up his end of the bargain in the ring, and I think that he's, is he on the Bryan Danielson, AJ Styles level? No, but he's good enough. I think that seeing somebody this creative in their prime, I hope everything's okay with him. I hope he comes back. I don't buy the budget cut because he's one of the biggest merch sellers in the WWE. I hope that he does come back.
He's got a god awful mask for like $200 for sale.
I mean,
and a god awful belt for $5.
And people buy him. I mean, I think that there are fans, there was a real outcry against this. I think that my hope is that he's okay, like you said. He does have small children. He has, he and JoJo are together. I hope that he's okay. That's really what I care about the most. But somebody's going to get it, whether if he wants to come back, if he's able to come back, then WWE, Impact, AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, somebody's going to get a really talented performer. And that's, I hope that he's okay enough to come back.
Yeah. I'm with you. Totally shocked. Like you said, the dude is just absolutely lights out. I know I got caught up in the emotion of him being gone. I was one of the first people who was co-signing, maybe come back and do a Dark Order thing, blah, blah, blah. Just because, it sounds good, it would be a nice story, etc. But I got to say that our Vince hit it on the head when he's like, the Dark Order is kind of like a comedy gig, and he would be lessening himself to do that. But outside of where I feel he could go or what he could do, I do hope that, he gets his head together. I know it cannot be easy losing your best friend. So whatever it is he does and wherever he goes, I just hope that, he's got his head together.
So he was not the only person released. Go ahead, Sam.
No, I was just going to say that it's, anybody who it's with the NXT releases and with it looking sort of like we've reached the end of a certain time period in NXT. He was one of those guys who very early on put NXT on the map, where this guy who had been Husky Harris, which was god awful name, wasn't really a gimmick. And then he came in with this completely, it was so in the zeitgeist because True Detective came out, I think shortly after he did that, within 6 months of him doing debuting in the main roster. I think True Detective happened, so it was in the zeitgeist. It was the only time you've seen something like that was Waylon Mercy, who got hurt, was a guy, Dan Spivey, at the end of his run. And to see somebody doing that story, it's just great. And it just bums me out that after he turned chicken salad into chicken shit, that they were like, no, so unless it's because it was mutual, then I'm not
chicken shit into chicken salad.
So